Hi, it's Andy.
Hi, it's Dave.
Hi, it's Kirk.
Welcome to the channel. Today's video, before we get into it, just a quick little bit of a disclaimer so that we know Andy and Kirk have not heard this, as well. I assume they haven't heard this video. I'm the only one that will know what the video is that is coming up. They have no idea. As always with our videos, there is no pause and there is no talking during the video. We will share our thoughts and feelings at the end. They will be completely honest, unedited. So if we like it, we'll tell you we like it. If we don't like it, we will tell you we don't like it, but we will try to be constructive. Without further ado, let's go check out today's video.
On my shoulders, I've always carried on. Thought they'd get lighter as I got older, but all I know is that passes feels like a lifetime. The clock falls off the wall. I pick up the pieces, but they have no meaning. 'Cause all I know is hold your breath and pray for the world to end. Nothing's left. Some broken hearts will never mend, and every word's just a whisper to the wind. I pray to God for angels who'll never send. Hold your breath and pray for the world to end. Caught in a hurricane of doubt, the dead weight drags me down. The fire within me is burning out slowly. 'Cause all I know is hold your breath, pray for the world to end. Nothing's left. Some broken hearts will never mend, and every word's just a whisper to the wind. I pray to God for angels who'll never send. Hold your breath and pray for the world to end. I've been a soldier in every battle but my own. Never surrendering, I fought each war alone. Only surviving, never winning. I never had a life worth living. I'll just hold my breath and pray for the world to end. Because nothing's left. Some broken hearts will never mend, and every word's just a whisper to the wind. I pray to God for angels who'll never send. Hold your breath and pray for the world to end.
Okay, There we go. So the band is Letters from the Fire, and the song was At War. Who wants to kick this one off? Kirk, do you fancy giving us a start?
I'm surprised you pre-warned us by saying it was chilled out. I disagree. It was very dramatic. I don't think that was not chilled out music to me. I was expecting Massive Attack or the French electronic band Air or something like that. So we clearly have different definitions of chilled out. That the songwriting is excellent, and the reason why is you can actually pick it apart, and you know that they've probably started that song humming a vocal line, and then she's probably written the lyrics and the piano is following it. I think that's so intelligent and so underappreciated because it's difficult to do. If you listen to that, imagine that you're looking at that on a screen on Cubase or on Logic or any other software, and you're looking at the channels, the layers, of each song. There's not many in there at the beginning because she's got so much belief in her voice and there's so much charisma in that, and clearly she's been to a finishing school, hasn't she, for the study of music. Really good clarity in the vocals as well. Does she say something about, I've been a soldier in every war, apart from my own? I thought that was quite a poignant lyric. I like how the drums come in on the toms as well. They're dancing, aren't they, on the tom drums? That gives it that dramatic blockbuster feel that you would see in a Hollywood film set in the Middle Ages in Europe. The guitar, he's just adding chords there, isn't he? I understand he must have come into the studio thinking, right, I'm not really needed as much here. It's all about the majesty of the voice and the piano, and that the piano was very mellifluous, wasn't it? I keep using that word, but it flows. There's a great flow to that. So I enjoyed that. I always ask the question at the end, would I listen to a whole album full of that? I could get through it. Yeah, I'd probably be expecting different songwriting approaches on other tracks. But where are they from, Dave?
I couldn't tell you off the top of my head, and I'm not going to guess because I'll get ripped apart if I say. Yeah. But I'll try and find the information for you in a second.
Yeah, no, that was... I think I was pleasantly surprised because I was expecting something chilled out. But I then realized that we've got definitions, different definitions of what that means in music.
Okay, they're an American band from San Francisco. There you go. Go on then, Andy. Do you want to give your feedback?
Yeah. Much outside my usual realms of listening, to be honest. I mean, if that came on the radio, I would quite enjoy it and certainly wouldn't switch stations. I do like, as I'm sure you both know, some, a lot of songs, a lot of bands who are not quite as extreme as some of the others that I do follow. But I'm like you, Kirk. I don't think I could go through a whole album of that. I mean, she had a really nice voice, and I think on certain songs she's got more to give. I don't think, I'm sure she's got the range and the capability to extend her voice and hit some high notes and expand even further. But she had a really nice voice. Strings came in sort of the last part of the song. I would like them to be a bit more prominent, from the sort of doom metal aspect of where violins feature quite a lot. They were there, well, they certainly featured in the video. I couldn't really hear them very much. Another sort of doom connection is, did you notice the sort of the blindfolds on the musicians? That was very much like the Chorus Waltz video that we reviewed recently, My Dying Bride, and I'm sure it features quite a lot in other videos, sort of blindfolded or disabled musicians, sort of restricted musicians, sort of visual there. I mean, going back to the visuals, the derelict house, the sunlight coming through the windows, I thought was absolutely amazing. I loved all that. I enjoyed the video more so than the song. It's not really my sort of thing. I have enjoyed and listened to sort of better versions of music like that. But as a video, like the video.
Okay, so I got into this band off their first album, or their first main album, called Worth the Pain, which came out in 2016, I think it was. And they're very much like a hard rock, groove metal type band. So it's all very upbeat. And this was just one track off of it, and this was the only track that sounds like this kind of goth. Everything else is like dun, 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 dun. It's all kind of like poppy, rocky stuff. So I was like, this kind of came out of the blue for me. But it's the one track I'd probably go back to the most. And it's mainly because it's one of those ones, you know, we talked about this on the last reaction we did about Grey, a song that gives you an emotional connection. And this one, although it's actually a very depressing topic, when I'm driving around and I'm feeling really shit about I've had a bad day and things are going wrong, I listen to this and you can kind of connect and relate to it. Because the song lyrics are, as you sort of said, so when you get to the chorus, hold your breath and pray for the world to end. Nothing's left, some broken hearts will never mend. And every word's just a whisper to the wind. I pray to God for angels he'll never send. Hold your breath and pray for the world to end. And it's someone who's basically been beaten, downtrodden, has taken all the crap they can and they can't take it anymore. And they're just praying for it all to finish, and to whether that's a suicidal or they just have given up on life. And it's one of those ones, and it's really weird. We talked about why would you listen to something that's such a negative tone, but when I feel like I've had a bad day, I'll listen to that, relate to it, and it actually pulls me out of my thoughts and feelings of feeling that way about, because there are days where you kind of go, do you know what, I can't do this job anymore, I've had enough. And you start thinking of like, do you know what, I feel like just getting in my car and just driving and exploring and just getting off the grid and forgetting putting everything behind you and going off and doing something different. And then you listen to something like that and you go, actually, other people feel that way. It's something that lots of people feel. And I listen to it and I feel better after listening to it, even though it is quite a powerful, in a way, the lyrics are very negative, but it makes me feel better at the end of it. I hope that makes sense to you guys.
Yeah, that's why they're more poignant, though, isn't it? What do you want to do? Do you want to listen to some crap pop song about a relationship breakdown or venerating the concept of love? No, I don't. I'd rather listen to something like that where the artists have put their heart into it. And the lyrics, they really evoke some powerful imagery as well, don't they?
Yeah.
Did you notice she does have a remarkable belting technique in her voice? That middle eight, before they reprised the chorus near the end, she was really going for it there, wasn't she? That's one of those in the studio where you're probably stepping back by an extra 2 yards just because the volume that you're using is so high. And that's the sign of a great singer, isn't it? One question though, Dave, I've heard you criticize some other artists, some vocalists, including that wonderful singer from The Warning, in the past for over projecting. Would the singer here, not in your book, be potentially guilty of that as well?
No, I would say no in this case. I think she's worked within the context of the song. So within the context of this particular track, and if on the rest of the album she doesn't do as much big powering. I know the point that you're talking about, and I do kind of think there's a bit of over projecting at that one little point, but for the rest of the song, I don't think she does. Maybe just that one section coming out that mid. But when I talk about Danny from The Warning, I felt, especially when you look at the earlier stuff on their second album, it was consistent all the time on all tracks, and I was like, it was either, with Danny, I always said it was either full on or off. There was no in between. There was no subtlety in that control. So it was almost like you had to just project constantly on every single syllable, every single word. And I was like, then you lose that impact. If you don't have that gradual or know when to push forward too much, when to use just 30% of your power, when she was using 100% of power all the time, you lose that impact. Whereas with this particular track, she knew when to put that power through. And so that's why I would say there was a little bit, and I wasn't very keen on where she used on the middle section that like phone reverb digitized voice sample that was over the top.
I meant to raise that as well. I didn't like that at all. That was unnecessary and spoiled it a little bit, yeah.
And I think the context of that is maybe it's meant to sound like a radio broadcast coming to you from like a war zone type thing. Maybe that was the context. I think they were trying to do something that didn't come across very well. But I kind of get why they did it. But I would have much rather her just keep her natural voice and gone quieter and then come back in. Would have sounded better. So because the problem is you then start questioning, going, was that effect on that voice the whole way through the song? And because everything else was playing, I didn't notice it. Is she using some sort of vocal auto tune? And you start questioning her vocal ability because of that effect. And that's what, for the first time I ever listened to it, I thought that. And then I was like, oh no, it's actually just the effect they put on for that one section to try and convey something, but it doesn't work as well. But there we go. Now, of course, if you like this video, please do subscribe, click the bell icon, like and share, and we will, of course, see you on another video sometime very soon. Take care.